Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Welcome to the further adventures of Everything's Racist. Yes, even saying a colour is racist. So, from Devon Live, Little White Town, thousands campaign to keep town's tagline amid ridiculous racism row. And this is from the local news in Devon, which is affected Bideford. Right there in the West Country, though. Now we've got some family out there, so I'm quite used to the way they sound. I won't do the entire video like that. They say thousands of residents in a Devon town, at the centre of a ridiculous race row, say they want to keep the town's famous Little White Town description on local signposts. And this goes to show that despite the huge onslaught and continual onslaught, to say, oh yes, well, people want progress and this is clearly what is popular and what people want. So, well, no, they really don't. They can say through this. And they also understand that trying to change language like this has no effect. And it actually just destroys any history and culture that you might have to try and make some people not feel so bad who didn't even hear about it in the first place. It's one of those things yet again where you try and ban something, and by doing so you draw attention to it, and therefore now it's more famous. So they say the story went viral, of course, and has been featured by several national news outlets including The Sun, Daily Mail, BBC Telegraph and The Mirror. Locals have hit back and are campaigning to retain the historic description in its original form. Yes, they actually value their culture. What's the point in trying to get multiculturalism if you're destroying the original culture? Of course, there isn't one. That isn't the point of multiculturalism. The idea is to just destroy British culture, as we all know. I'm not going as far as white genocide. Don't worry. They say the idea to remove the slogan from the signs in the town came from the town councillor Dermot McGeer, who brought a motion to scrap it to a meeting last week, and they said no, so well done. I believe it's the Barbra Streisand effect after her home, saying she didn't want photos taken, and in doing so then everybody knew about it. So often it's better to just let these things go, otherwise you draw more attention to it, like he's done here. Like, oh, people can't know about this because it's racist. So when it isn't racist, but now you've just drawn a lot more attention to it, well done, it's made national news. So the Little White Town moniker comes from Charles Kingsley's book Westward Ho! Capitalism Ho!, which was written in 1855 and set in and around the area. Of course, it has nothing to do with skin colour. It refers to the colour of the house and streets, which at the time were lime-washed and spread with ash to prevent the spread of cholera. Similar thing then, the White Cliffs of Dover, is that also racist then? Even though they're slightly more yellow now, due to their covering on the chalk in order to prevent erosion. However, Councillor McGeer said he had received complaints by the tagline suggesting it could be seen as a racist slur, and this goes to what Tim Poole mentions a lot, which is that the vast majority is fine, but when you have such a huge number, even if it's 1% or less than that, you would still get several complaints. For example, if you have, say, 1 million, and you get 1% complaining, that's still 10,000. If you get 0.01% complaining, that's still 100, and that's enough for you to take note, because you go, oh, we've got 100 complaints here, time to do something about it, so we'll know actually it's statistically insignificant, so no, really don't worry about it. And that's what we see here when they actually ask people, would you like it changed? No, they wouldn't. They say after much heated debate at the meeting, councillors eventually agreed to alter the slogan to read Charles Kingsley's Little White Town, which members felt would put the quote into context. But don't we already know context doesn't matter? The locals are unhappy about the change. Good on them. In an online poll on the Facebook page by Bideford Banter, users voted overwhelmingly in favour of leaving all signs in the town as they were. Bear in mind, if it says banter, you could expect that they'd be more leaning for free speech anyway. 1,700 people voted, 1,552 said they wanted the signs to remain unaltered, with just 22 saying changing them would be acceptable. And in a Devon Live online poll, 92% of readers said they did not find the slogan in any way racist, and the changing it would be political correctness gone mad. So that's strongly in favour, 92% of keeping it. And an online petition on change.org has also been set up in the hope of leaving the signs as they are now and not changing them in any way. And more than 630 people have signed this so far. And latest information is 2,159. So yes, it is definitely increasing rather rapidly. And this goes to show just how much these people value their culture, of course, and good on them, why not? But it does lead you to wonder, well, where is this supposed to end? Does that mean then the White House, does that also create problems? Is that something that will also have to change? And then what are you going to call it, seeing as that is its one and only name? Or what about Black Country in the mid to north of England? Named that way because of coal, because black is the colour of coal, funny that. Are you going to then say, oh, we have to change that, because that is a slightly younger term, I believe, again from the 19th century though, mid to late 1800s. Are you going to have to change that as well, because you can't say that something's black, and and then where else do you want it to go? What about blackboards and whiteboards? Do you have to change those, and to what? It's like this has nothing to do with race, and at what point do you say, yeah, this is fair enough, these are just words, nothing to do with race, it doesn't matter. We don't care what words are used, we care about the intent, because that is what is important. You can ban words, censor words, but the message will still find a way out. And of course, the classic I like to go to is when people use social media names, or Google, Facebook, Yahoo, Twitter, and all that, to use those as racial slurs, because they can't be banned, because they're the names of the companies, and of course they're not going to ban their own names. There'll always be a way for this message to get out. The people it hurts most is people who are just trying to be matter-of-fact and are apolitical, or whatever they're saying at the time is not political at all. For example, of course, with YouTube cracking down on the shortened version of National Socialist, people who are creating documentaries about World War II are finding their videos throttled because they say that the bad word, the other N-word. Yes. So, to finish up, one person wrote, I've known this little white town for 43 years. I wonder how long the complainer has known or lived in Bideford. If you don't like it, fuck off. And is that acceptable in other ways? And I wish it would be. So yes, England is England. If you don't like it, fuck off. Come to England to be English. Yay. But they don't like that. And here we have another example. Local businessman Rob Braddock, who owns the Blacksmith's Arms in Bideford, posted this amusing picture below saying, with all this little white town shenanigans going on in Bideford, I'm not taking any chances at the Blacksmith's Arms. No sir, not me. So it's the very, very, very dark grey smiths. So it's nice that people are taking this at least slightly light-hearted. So, in case you're wondering what the councillor said to the Telegraph, he said, we don't want people thinking we're a bunch of white supremacists. We're just a little town in Devon. Don't worry, they don't think so. What happened was, a few residents came to me and said they thought Little White Town looked racist to visitors, made it look like people of any other colour weren't welcome. My job is to represent all residents who approach me with their concerns, so I've done what I was elected to do. So, surely having a moniker like that goes, oh cool, why is it called that? Oh, now I know about the history. 1855, Kingsley's book. How wonderful, now I get to learn more. But no, there's no pleasing these people. And do let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to see what other examples you'd come up with. And what would you replace them with? If we can't use words like white or black, does that mean we also can't use yellow or red? What colours can't we use? Can we use brown, for example? And where is the line between okay and racist? And I'm also intrigued to see, would some of you say then that saying somebody is black, that's racist because now you are actually talking about a person, or does it actually have to go to what almost everybody understands racist to be, which is that that person is inferior because they're black, or all black people are inferior because they're black, that kind of thing, which I would say is racist. It's prejudging, it's prejudicial, it's discriminating, that is singling those people out, then you're prejudging them, that's prejudicial, and it's based on race. Discrimination with prejudice based on race. But let me know what you think down below. Always interested to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.